And so, what I think Jim Riley, Joe Zilla, Gary Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quinwan, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, Doug King, 1961 Amphibious Spaceman, Oyster Cracker Man, Bitted Bats 4, Blue Boy Boxes, um, GPS Paso Robo, Rapist, Minute, Third Night, Small Fry, Ellery's, and let's see, Red Randy, Team El Cortez, Hillbillies, Karen Fausto, Country and Western Stan, Gordon, I think, Joe, that you run Stupid Shit Carney show multiple times and you have such an abusive reign with your people there that you have gone into like at least 3 families, if not more, 4 families and ruined their lives. Carney Carver. And you guys do it because you're, super massive jealous fags. You didn't care. All American. For a hero, man, you're quite damaging. Joe, Harry, Bernard. See, like I said, Blacksmith, and then like I said, Mark shows up on Brian's face in '94. You guys do it to me. Shows up on Heidi. I think Taco Joe, wherever you and Carney and the Ellery and the Carney Bernard go, a chance of the con man of La Freeman, the world is sucked. Then you guys attach yourselves to the Hiltons, Bowmans, and Kennedys. What I think, Fairmount Faggot, Whispering Fairmount Faggot, Dave, Joe, Harry, Pitkin Street, Jamaica Street, that we have a couple cowboy carny clowns running around, ruining everybody's life. Understand? So I would think that Brian would have a legitimate excuse why he's pissed off at you, Joe or Harry, because he figured out the same thing as I did. Probably Kim did too, and a bunch of other people. That you're a murdering, rapist, kidnapping, lying, faggot thief. And you always have been. And you're pissed that a couple boys didn't want to sleep with you, so you guys ruined Brian's stuff. You know how it goes. It seems that the trail of shit comes from you, Joe Zillig, and Harry Race, and Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, and Perlita. See, I think Harry made Dave and Perlita Messiah children, and they lost control, and then John, and then Adam, you guys followed the Living Water book, and then, make fun of you wanted water, Karen, Don, Perlita, Florida, Texas, or here, jack that all up. I think your pathetic Carney show, Country and Western, Karen, is the problem, because you kept inserting your forced farm with Joe and the rapist barnyard boy up there, where it doesn't belong. Then you guys make fun of Nova and PBS. Maybe I was Jay Beswick's son and Aina Beswick's son, and you guys killed them, and then Bernard had a chance and Ellery attached to that so they get famous too. More Carney show. So Bernard, what you do, and you guys' mockery is what kills people. And then, your only way out is to blame the Spaniard, blame the Negro, blame the Japanese, blame the Israelis, blame. I think you're 4-bitted back to Carney, crazy, trying to be land surveyors or construction workers, Bernard, who are pieces of shit. And you ruin everybody's life to live in that cut open, nasty shit farm that you made. Because you get off on it because you're that supreme dumb fuck of a lafag. So what I actually think is Google Duncan and Joe and you, Bernard, went into my dad's house, stole his shit, stole my stuff. Then you guys tried to play Greg Faust. You can't even come close. You got the hillbillies hovering over rental properties, and your LGBT trying to pull off their little raver story. It's a lie. That's all you do, Bernard. You do it for attention. You're like basically Dr. Demento with the Antilla Man there. And you guys run a piece of shit. And you cowboys ever getting involved in the rumor mill with that shit. Harry, you have an obsession over my relatives like no other. Having to stick your dick and steal my ideas and make sure it's all you guys' nasty shit. Football! Red Randy. So I can tell you right now, this shit in Ohio is full of shit. Joe, you're an inbred cloning lunatic full of shit. So just build the pedo park for him and, make up the Don Wiley story, all this shit. There's another one who's trying to get into the grift for the lotto. So we know who it is. So Hollywood celebrities, strike down on Team Dumbass if you wish. Slam them. Aurora, Colorado, for Harry and them ruining it out there. Slam them. For them screwing with those schools and other colleges. Slam them. Look at all the money. You guys had a enlightened student, went through all that, killed it for, so they could set up their show off paradise of Eden and, Atlantis and Zion of the All-American. Everything that the All-American and the turnip head Bernard and them touch turns into a pile of shit. You know why, Bernard? Because like I said, it never belonged to you. And then you guys tried to run the Matrix dream thing again. You hillbillies don't know what the fuck you're doing and never have. And you took stuff that was working, trying to heal yourselves, the Olympic thing or whatever. So Mr. Man wanted to make it rich and decided he decided he was going to run a con scam and grift and ruin everybody's life, and then all of a sudden forced, not really forced, but David has to be the Messiah of Israel with Perlita or whatever. Spain, you're a copycat, Joe. My father caught you. Everybody caught you, Joe. You ruined the blue stuff, the dollhouse. You wrangle them in the hillbillies, Bernard and Harry, and you guys put them in the city, and nobody knows what they're doing. So you got your phones and your tablets and stuff. Like I said, it basically starting like it was, but everything's replicated and inbreedy, cloney replicated out because of your supposed supreme hired hands. And so they deserve to look like shit because they've been caught before across the nation lying and kidnapping and running around in the trucker zone of Taco Joe. And then Joe has to try to insert himself in with other families and girls and convince them and put his nasty breath. You screwed over Carl, Joe. I can pretty much tell and prove that the Antilla Man, the Oyster Cracker Man, you guys created accidents so you can get people killed and steal their shit. That's how you guys ghetto it, style it. And then you guys wonder why the economy's fucked up with a $1.5 billion lotto and nobody has to work and minimum wage has to increase, and really it's only about $3.25 by the time you guys are done. So if you're in support of the red light district there, Bernard, of the drugs that you so much love that's provided by Dave, like the weed, the meth or whatever, crack cocaine, whatever you're into, heroin, you know what happens to those societies because you're not wanting to pay attention to Amsterdam, even though you guys think you're the badasses and you think you know everything about Amsterdam. Those kind of communities, even Europe, suffered through that shit, and bad things happen. But if you guys want to bring it back, I guess it doesn't really work out for anybody. It creates more, and that's what I think Bernard and Harry were trying to do: create another riot so they can sit there and grift more. Your junkyard, Joe. So you guys just come out here and you turned it into a cesspool, and then you guys that's what you do. And you did this, the group of you did the same thing in Texas and Miami and Chicago, New York, and then you guys complain, well, this sucks. We got HIV and Hep C now, and blah, blah, blah. Why don't you guys try to spend the money to cure it? Oh, that's right. The idea belonged to girls before, so that didn't work, so it has to be all man now. Right? And then you got Perlita and Karen, you guys doing dykerhood, turning people into dykes and all this nasty shit. You know how much more money that's going to cost to fix that? Why do you want to be immortal with people like that? Like I said, you're going to get on a spaceship, Bernard, and do that shit too? You're untrustworthy. Harry put children and people he knew into a torture chamber so they could sit there and utilize it for their sex pedo farm of the country and western as the Jim Riley and Britches and the All-American Antilla came through, supposedly the superior white being. But guess what? All-American Antilla and the superior whiteness of Joe and Harry, your genetics went in with that, and god dang, dude, it turns you all into a pile of shit. So you can make up all the story you want, David, but you're a dumb fuck. And Stan, if you help them, or Karen, you're even dumber for trying to install that fucking shit nasty man's farm again. His rape shit hog farm. So, like I said, Bernard and Harry, Joe, you got a fat ass because, thieving Antilla there and Ellery and them, that's all they were, is asses. and anyone who decides to follow that shit. So you guys picked the wrong heroes, especially one that lives through a comic book delusion who turned everybody into zombies and ruined shit anyway, and then they come out and try to pretend that they're fixing shit, and excuses. So don't complain. Like I said, Mad Max, Thunderdome, you guys will probably turn it into a wasteland. Hey, created depression, Bernard. You have problems. So, history does repeat. And the one that repeats the most is most human beings don't learn the lesson of history that repeats. So don't complain, Bernard, when it was you and your little carny group and your friends that went through neighborhoods stealing shit, changing shit around, thinking it's funny, touching stuff. Faggotoid. And that's what he made, the stolen rainbow of Faggotoid. And what happens when you have Faggotoid? A lot of people get sick.